Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. We have reported in that we've defeated the Stag Lord and are about to receive our Barony. Let's talk to Jamandi Aldori and get the show on the road.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
Okay, so we did have the option to back out and talk to the guest more, so I guess I could have talked to her. But it's fine. Before we begin, I'd like to talk about the envoy I'll be taking with me.
My apprentice, Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
I mean, I don't really like that you're automatically assuming that. If she had asked, like, would you want to take my apprentice? Also, my apprentice, not my son. Seems like a weird statement, but the fact that she is just expecting us to agree feels bad. I don't want to go with the Sertovans because of the groups, I find them the least honest and the least, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe when we know more about the politics, I'll lean more towards them, because I keep saying it, but not playing it. I'm aiming for a more chaotic playthrough, and maybe siding with them is the way to go there. Probably. Because they are the more pirate group versus they're the more honorable. We'll see. But at the moment, it seems like what they're saying is a lot of lies and half-truths that I can't trust. And so I don't want to side with them. Lander is a giant question mark, a huge unknown. Like, we know nothing about him except he's claiming to be a royal or from a noble house, but he won't tell me which or what his goals are or anything. Which makes him a giant question mark that's potentially going to be a problem. He said that the Lord Mayor let him in or invited him. So that means the Lord Mayor knew who he was. I was hoping we could find out from him more information about Lander, but no. I don't trust Lander. We just need more information. So, given that, Casil seems the most reasonable, the most trustworthy. I just don't like that you are assuming and forcing him on me. So yes, but you could have been nicer about it. Yes, that's my decision.
Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. Like, the other two seem like they could be more problematic. Casil seems safe. I'm ready for the ceremony. Yeah, we don't need to talk to any more guests. I'm ready for the ceremony.
Excellent. Stand here. Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon, Captain Maegor Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword, and finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
Hail to the stolen, conquered the stolen lands. There's a lot of statements there that I didn't get to read all of them. But we are now Baron.
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
Greetings, Baroness. Greetings, Baroness. Welcome, Your Grace. Keston salutes you. You can see he's a bit anxious, and it seems he's rehearsed his speech many times. Let me once again congratulate you on your victory and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here. I am at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. Again, Jamandi transferring people here. Like, the more that they're getting involved, the weirder it feels. It's probably fine in the long run, but it's still... It's weird when we're not asked, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm here to welcome you to the city. To welcome you on behalf of your new capital citizens. The Staglord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. Word travels fast, and the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak. While you were visiting Restov, much has been done here. Your benefactors, the Aldori, invested a great deal of resources in building the city. I stand ready to answer your questions and to show you around the most important sites. I guess that's true. So they already said that they were going to cover the cost of building our barony. So what the Lord Mayor was offering was not funding to necessarily build our capital, but just additional supplies to help set up more infrastructure than the basic setup that they already had promised us, while putting us permanently in, well, not permanently, but in debt to him for a long time, probably. The main question is, where can I get a drink or three? Where are my companions? Are there any citizens I should know about? What's the mood of the people here? I guess we'll start at the top. The main question is, where can I get a drink or three? It's time to toast my victory. Keston hesitates for a brief moment, then laughs. I'll make sure to show you. The moment we enter the city, the tavern was the first business that opened. Building a city is thirsty work, and I beg your forgiveness for my behavior during your reception. I drank a little too much. It is a day for celebration. Where are my companions? They are all somewhere around here, but I never kept an eye on who went where, exactly. Well, I assume Tristan is with Jod, and you can always find Lindsay. Just follow the noise and turmoil. Are there any citizens I should know about? Our old acquaintance, Jihad, is right here. The restless clerics normally don't like cities much, but he's eager to serve you. Also, the emissary from Brevoy is here, waiting for you in the throne room. There's also this curious matter. An elf has paid us a visit, a blind elf. Desna only knows how he managed to get here. He seems a peaceful, even pleasant fellow, though naturally a little odd, so I let him stay a while. It's up to you to decide what to do with him now. That's about it, I guess. Keston scratches his head. And what's the mood of the people here? I must admit, I've never seen anything like that my whole life. A city, a whole barony, born right in front of my eyes. The people sense the moment, and today we're feeling proud. As a rule, I'm not too cheerful or chatty. I'd normally feel out of place among all the rejoicing, but today is just one of those days. I'm ready to look around the city. Lead the way. Follow me, Your Grace. Greetings, Your Grace. We are, well, your new subjects. We're selecting a site to build our home. Should be a lot of open land. It's wet near the lake and windy up here on the hill. A fine place to throw garbage at your neighbors' heads, though. Ouch. It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. I mean, I'm betting the wilds are still pretty wild. Do you recognize this place, Your Grace? This is where the Staglord's fortress wall used to be. Not that it saved him in the end, huh? Our workers did a fine job turning this bandit den into the heart of the town. The heart of every town is its main square. We plan to hold street festivities and fairs here. Look, we already have our first vendor. Looks like two vendors, one there and a weapon merchant here. Greetings, Your Grace. If you turn to the right from the square, you'll end up straight in our tavern. The tavern's ale is blessed by Caden Salian himself, I swear, and the lady who owns it is a gem. I've heard our Baroness is tall as a troll and has hair of pure gold and can breathe fire. I mean, hair of pure gold is somewhat accurate. I am an Asamar. Oh, that's all nonsense. Well, except for the part about breathing fire. All barons can breathe fire, trust me. I'm also a sorceress. I could probably figure out a way. Well, welcome, Your Grace. Glad to serve you. Your Grace, those are guards. They keep order in the city, or keep their mouths busy with... Wow, that was not up long enough. Here's the observation platform. I hope one day your capital will grow large enough that we won't be able to see its full extent from this perch. Well, that's cool. Now you can see settlements down at the bottom. That'll be a long time from now, though. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we'll head now. Welcome to your barony. You're about to make the unyielding stolen lands a prosperous kingdom. There is a long and arduous road ahead of you. You and your advisors are going to deal with matters of national importance, found and build up settlements, seize and develop new regions, solve pressing problems, and take advantage of good opportunities. A prosperous governor will be handsomely rewarded with support and donations from their subjects, promising alliances with other states, wealth for their treasury, and many other things. Good luck in your ruling, Baroness. So now that we've reached the main chambers, this is the throne room, where you'll hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map depicting your barony and its surroundings. We'll mark all the important scout reports and other news worthy of your grace's attention. Having finished his speech, Keston tucks his thumbs under his belt and stands quietly. Greetings, your grace. Castle Lady Jamandi's ward gives a polite bow. It was a pleasure to meet you at the Restov reception. On behalf of our allies and benefactors, the Aldori Swordlords, I'd like to offer you some advice. Barony effects: community +6, loyalty +6, military +3, economy +3, divine +3, arcane +3, stability +3. So those are probably, I don't know, statuses of the barony itself. And then new events: trade agreement with Sertova, Izvanki's offer, pillage the Temple of the Elk, probably not, rebuild the Temple of the Elk, probably, research into the nature of curses, Davik Nettle. Yeah. Might be nice to know more about what caused him to be a zombie. Difficulty level of your barony. You may change the difficulty level of your barony at any time or set it to automatic. If set to automatic, you won't have to deal with most of government decisions. They'll be taken care of automatically and your barony will never fail. However, this will also prevent you from unlocking any governance-related achievements. I don't know how excited I am to play through the various barony decisions, but I don't think I want to go all the way to automatic. But I might set it to one of the easier levels. You can solve most of your barony's problems by granting appointments to the right people, responsible people, but certain state business will demand your personal attention, as will the visits of especially important guests. Reports of such outstanding events will be marked on your map. You can always check it while considering your plans. I've already read all those. According to the ancient traditions of Brevoy and most of the river kingdoms, rulers address affairs of state and receive visitors at the beginning of the month. My advice to you is to maintain this tradition and regularly visit your capital when needed. The first thing you should do as a ruler is assign loyal people to all the important positions in your barony. Do I need to make sure I'm back here by the first of every month? Even if I'm out exploring, I have to wander back here regularly? That seems tedious. Your clerics, Jihad and Tristan, were the first to seek an audience. I won't distract you further, and I'll leave you to consider. Once again, my congratulations. May your rule be long and prosperous. Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of Baroness. I am confident that you will be able to bring order to these troubled lands. Jod stumbles slightly, though, to be honest, that isn't exactly what we wanted to speak to you about. Tristan and I have been talking a great deal about what happened at the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't all make sense to us yet, but one thing is clear. There's a powerful curse at work. It corrupted the very essence of that sacred place, steeping it with putrescence. I'm disgusted with whoever could do this. Chod exhales loudly, catching his breath. And now there's a new woe. Tristan and I believe the curse did not simply disperse of its own accord. There is a place near the capital rumored by the locals to be cursed. Tristan and I visited this dreadful place, and we felt the same putrescence of the Temple of the Elk. What is this place and where is it? And there is a bald hilltop not far from here, to the north of the capital. Its crown is entirely barren of life. The locals believe that rituals glorifying the dark gods were held there back in ancient times. There's no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy to the point of stifling. This place is like a rotting wound, closed but not healed. And this wound will undoubtedly open again. Tristan and I felt something approaching, something ominous. The curse will soon return to plague us once more, I swear by Erastil. I'll go there as soon as I'm able. I would be happy to accompany you, but I would not expect to see anything new there at present. I agree with Tristan. We have been to the hilltop. It's barren, but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease. Well, what do you suggest? The curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will reach the peak of its strength in about 1 month. That's when we should visit the bald hilltop and resolve the issue. For now, we can only wait and prepare. We beg your pardon, Your Grace, for intervening with you getting the grasp of your barony. I'm sure you have more pressing matters at hand right now.
Adventures can wait.
The barony has 10 basic stats, each supervised by an advisor. As follows. Population, loyalty, military, economy, divine. Okay, so yeah, those are the stats of the barony, and they each have a advisor role over them. Makes sense. Stats increase if your governance is successful, and decrease if events don't end well or other negative factors are placed in your way. Don't let your barony stats drop to 0 or lower. This will cause your subjects to riot and your state will begin to crumble. Each stat has a certain milestone or ranks within them. Every 20 points in a stat will increase your rank. Rank 1 unlocks a corresponding advisor position for that stat. Further development of that stat and upgrades to its ranks will be possible only if you have an advisor in the relevant position. Governing your barony will require 1 advisor for each stat. You may appoint your companions as well as some of the Stolen Lands citizens into these advisor positions. Each of the 10 positions has at least 3 characters who are qualified to hold it. Not all of these characters will be willing to serve you right away. Some of them will need to be convinced. Appointing others will require completing an assignment for them or rendering them some other service. Every advisor acts on their own ideology. They have their own opinions on everything that happens in your domain. Therefore, you may want to select characters whose governance philosophy is consistent with your own. Open the Advisor tab on the right side of the screen, click in an empty slot and select the character to appoint them as an advisor. Every barony stat gains a bonus from a specific ability of the appointed advisor. The exact size of the bonus is indicated in the upper right corner of the advisor card. Only advisors may address the problems, opportunities, and sudden events that occur in your domain and require immediate attention. Don't leave these positions vacant. The name of the barony cannot be changed later in the game. Is this actually the name of the barony? I mean, that's what they're calling it. But the name is Stolen Lands. And whoa. Okay. I happen to know that the game is called Kingmaker, and so I'm assuming we're establishing a kingdom long term, rather than just the barony. And therefore, if this is the name that's going to continue on to become the name of the kingdom, giving it a barony name, like Shrike Hills is what they called it when I was ennobled, given the barony, wouldn't make as much sense. Yeah, Varnhold is what he called his, or at least what it was called. I'm assuming it's what he called it because his last name is Varn. And then the other one was Done something. thought I'd be able to see it on the map. I don't know, I might just go with Stolen Lands. So if it does end up becoming the Kingdom title, it still fits. If I was actually naming just the Barony, I might go with Strike Hills. Or, you know, we're on the borders of Tuskwater, so maybe call it something related to that. But Stolen Lands I think is fine. We'll just go with the default. I'm bad at naming things. Click on your capital icon to open the settlement map. Tuskdale. See, that's a good name. It's on the border of Tuskwater. It's a village. Currently nothing is built. We'll look into that in a moment. Let's check out our advisors. So we have 5 advisor roles that our companions can fill. Oh, and it's showing us which position each person fills, and some of them don't have any role that they fit. So for Regent, we can choose between Valerie or Octavia. Octavia always strives to solve problems peacefully. Valerie strives to follow the letter of the law. Regent ensures subjects' complaints and concerns are heard by their ruler, and serves as a link between the Baroness and the people. I could go either way. Octavia, I think, is the friendlier sort, which has a point. But if we're talking about a regent, so someone to stand in my place, Valerie is more likely to live up to the letter of the law that I set down. But I'm also going more chaos, aiming to go more chaos than law. But still, I don't know about... She's a noble, has noble heritage, has experience with this sort of thing. We're going Valerie. She feels like a better choice. I think I can change them later on if I disagree, but at least for now, Valerie feels like a better regent. Counselor deals with the troubles of the common folk and helps settle land disputes and agricultural matters. This advisor ensures citizens remain loyal to the throne, and Tristan is the only option. Tristan cares for the people over all other concerns. The general is the highest ranking officer in the army of the barony and is responsible for watching the borders and protecting the realm. Alright. We've got Amiri, Reg, and Kessel. Or Castle. Always strives to help those in need, hot-headed and direct. Or Amiri favors direct approach. We get the highest bonus with Reg. Does he? There's no way he has a higher strength than Amiri, does he? Because that would strike me as really weird. There's something to be said for using party members, because I know long-term their stats are going to keep growing. I don't know that Castle is going to keep increasing his strength. But I don't know about a hot-headed and direct person responsible for watching the borders and protecting the realm. So I am going to go with Castle. Again, we can change this later, I hope. Yeah, there's an X there, so I could put someone else in. We don't have anyone available to be treasurer. Treasurer's duty is to keep the coffers of the barony full and ensure any gold spent is spent wisely. High priest, no matter what deity he serves, the high priest strives to satisfy the spiritual needs of all citizens in the barony. Jod or harem? Unusual but effective solutions versus doing his best to solve problems without disrupting local traditions. I just can't, even though harem has the higher wisdom, I just can't imagine him as a high priest, given the god that he serves. It just seems silly. So we're going to go with Jod. The people in general are going to probably primarily follow Erastil because we are so small of a city. No one's going to follow his god. So, yeah. These may not be the best choices from a numbers perspective, but they did say to choose people whose views match what you're going for. So that's kind of the angle I'm going from. So then we have various projects. Trade agreement with Sertova. Our merchants will receive the right to establish a sizable trading post in the heart of New Stetven. Each city in the Barony gains an extra 5 BP per week, 2 BP for town, and 1 BP for each village. It takes 60 days and would cost us 1,500 BP. We apparently only have 450 BP. So we couldn't do this even if we wanted to, and it would cost a ton to give us currently 1 BP each week. Yeah. Is it per... Yeah, per week. Yeah, that's a terrible deal, at least at the moment. The High Priest, strong interest in spreading the Stag God's faith across the region. He's eager to build a shrine dedicated to Erastil on your lands, but at his own expense. Accept his offer if you wish to gain a useful ally and place of worship for Erastil. I like that idea. So we'd have to put Jihad there. I might have a different use for him. Pillage the Temple of the Elk. I'm probably not going to do that. They gain 150 BP. Costs 10 days. Or we can restore it at the cost of 100 BP in 60 days, which would give us 2 Divine. Does this cost Divine? No. Restore the Temple of the Elk to its former glory, making it the center of Erastil worship in all of the surrounding areas. Unlocks a special region upgrade. Prevents pillaging. I'm definitely tempted by that. Maybe not right away. So this one is 7 days to build the shrine. This one is 60 days to rebuild the temple. Probably someday. Research into the nature of curses, Davik Nettle. Now the undead engineer's curse has been lifted, it might be prudent to study it and be more prepared next time. Also gives 2 Divine. Costs 50 BP in 45 days. Also uses our High Priest advisor. Okay. So we can choose between those. And then regions. Claim outskirts. Alright, so that's talking about this area up here. We could claim the outskirts. Region of the Stolen Lands bordering with Bravoy. It has less monsters than the woods or marshes, but is plagued by numerous bandits. For a long time, Oleg Leventon's trading post has served as the only bastion of civilization in this inhospitable realm. What does it cost to claim it? 150 BP in 14 days. And I'd have to use one of my advisors, but it doesn't seem like I have any roles requiring them at the moment. I'm definitely tempted by that. I assume we can claim these other regions at least eventually. Maybe not. I thought I saw that somewhere. Oh, Silver Step. Region will be available to claim in the future. Okay, yeah. We can read a bit about them. This region will be available to claim in the future. It's already owned by Maegor Varn. But sure. Yeah, so I think eventually we'll be able to claim all of these regions. With that, I do think I want to start with building the shrine. That seems like a quick, simple improvement to our region. And then also claiming the outskirts using... Choose the advisor to handle this event. Advisors will act according to their position in government, beliefs, and alignment. Choose wisely. I don't know what difference it makes. I mean, he's got the higher stat. +2 leader bonus, +2 stat rank. I don't know what that means. He's got a +3 leader bonus. We're gonna go with Tristan. He's got the higher bonus. Start the claim. Oh, that occupied me for 14 days. Well now. That was certainly something. Probably didn't want to do that yet. You may now claim new regions to expand your territory. Open the regions tab. I was reading that tutorial. When your barony's stats has reached 20 points, it's time for you to increase its rank. First, meet with your advisor and discuss the future of the state. To do so, return to your capital, click the button on the appropriate event card in the throne room. Whatever choices you make, remember, your advisors may disapprove. If the current advisor decides that you argue too much, they'll quit forever. After you talk to an advisor and make a decision, a new kingdom project will become available that will increase a stat rank. You can find it in the bottom center of the screen on the projects tab. It will take you and your advisor 14 days to complete the project. Time will be automatically sped up until the project is completed. Yeah, I kind of hated that. Also, whatever tutorial popped up first is gone. But we have successfully expanded to include the outskirts. Cool effect. So now we have outskirts and Shrike. So stats-wise, the loyalty's gotten up to 20. I think that's what it's telling me, so it can increase in rank. What are crisis points? Unknown. Happy birthday to you, Baroness. The Baroness's birthday is a special date for our young nation. It is thanks to her that we had the opportunity to claim the stolen lands and establish a new country in Galarian. Today is a day to forget about our troubles and revel in celebration. Today is a day to remember. Jamandi Aldori has sent her best sword lords to participate in a friendly combat and demonstrate their skills. Without a doubt, this will be a feast for the eyes. You need to talk to one of your advisors to address important matters in your barony. We should probably do that before we accidentally speed up time again. But okay. This is an opportunity. So do I have to do anything with it? Zvanki's offer. Yeah, that would have finished a week ago. Zvanki Keeg, High Priest of Arastil from Restov, has a strong interest in spreading the Stag God's faith across the region. He's eager to build a shrine. Yeah. The first shrine in your capital will be built free of charge. Sounds great. Before I interact with anything else and speed up time super far, let's back out of the map. Tristan lowers his head. Greetings, Baroness. I'm sorry to take you away from your other affairs, but your people need you. Yeah, apparently I was sleeping for 2 weeks. Sorry. When the stolen lands were freed from the Stag Lord, the people sighed in relief, but many are still confused by their swift change of fortune. Truth be told, they simply don't know what to think of their new Baroness, nor what to expect of you. Will you be a fair ruler for all, or only those of wealth and status? Let us reassure your people, show them where your favor truly rests. Perhaps a small celebration would help to win them over. Of course, you could spend the same amount on luxuries dinner for the wealthiest of your barony, but I recommend organizing a fair for the common people, the ones upon whose shoulders your power truly resides. So we could hold a fair for the common people. I want them to know that I hold them closest to my heart, or a luxurious dinner party for the merchants. The support of the wealthiest citizens is essential. Or I don't care to arrange anything. We can do without festivities and feasts to just gain 20 BP. Or make up your own mind. I don't care who we pander to. So this will give us +2 community, +2 culture, +2 economy, +2 relations. Or just a +20 BP. I now wish I could see the stats. But I think helping the common folk is probably more important than a single dinner party for the merchants. I mean, I guess it's still just a fair. It's a single day thing. but the commoners will remember it longer. Probably. I'll trust you, Tristan. Hold a fair for the common people. You want to know that I hold them closest to my heart. Tristan smiles warmly. We will hold a common celebration where everyone will be welcome, including the poor and downtrodden. This is the greatest gift a ruler can give to her people. New event, support the counselor's endeavors. Okay. Harem looks embarrassed. He runs his finger through his beard and clears his throat a few times, then speaks at last. I heard, not that it is important, but, well... He clears his throat again. I heard that an ancient trade road, built by the dwarves of the Five Kings Mountains, runs through these lands. I don't know what happened to them or where they went. Unforgiving time spares no one, but the road itself is still there, and possibly not only the road. Harem holds his beard in his fist. Well, Melandra, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in the area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes. Why do you ask this? Of course, if I find dwarven ruins, I'll take you to them, or don't, Harem. It will bring you nothing but pain. I mean, it probably will. But why do you ask this? Harem fiddles with his beard again. I shouldn't, probably. But it's like a wound that never healed. You know it will only hurt more, but you still need to scratch it. Of course it's foolish. Foolish and vain. But still, I wish to look at them. If I find any dwarven ruins, I'll take you to them. Thank you, Melandra. Thank you. Your Grace, I was at Oleg's trading post recently. I noticed old Bakken just standing there, bored to death with nothing to do. This is most unfortunate after all. The old grumbler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he has no use for his skills, since the locals need nothing more than the simplest of healing potions. And then it struck me, why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? His decoctions and tinctures would certainly prove most useful to you. Also, it might be cheaper than simply buying from him or some other merchant. It's a reasonable statement. Okay, to access the Barony management screen, click on the table standing before the throne. I still can't believe 2 weeks passed. So we've got Storyteller over there. I remember him from Wrath of the Righteous. And then we have some of our advisors and a random chest here. Okay, that's the same chest that we had at Oleg's. Perfect. Let's talk to our various advisors and friends. Casaladori, elegantly dressed in formal clothes, as always, welcomes you with a courteous half bow. Actually, I might save that for the next episode, because there's a lot of people here to talk to, and I don't know how many of them will have new things to say, including exploring town, which I should have done 2 weeks ago. I've learned what I need. I assume if we talk to him again, I'll have the same options? Yes, so I didn't lose anything. Okay. Then yeah, next time we will talk to all of our advisors before looking around town. But for now, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.